Hi, I'm Alex McCord and welcome to The Real Deal on thestir.com. Last night was fascinating on reality television, from an elegant attempt at spin doctoring to actual plastic surgery doctoring. We have got episode 11 of season 9 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as well as episode 2 of the brand new plastic surgery series Botched. Last night we did not have a new episode of Candy's Wedding, probably because the good folks at Bravo did not want it to go up against the BET Awards, so we will have to wait until next week for that season finale. Meanwhile, let's take Botched first, because it's more straightforward. This new series moved to Sunday nights and features two current and former husbands of two current and former Real Housewives, Doctors Terry Dubrow and Paul Nassif. I'm loving it so far, and here's why. It looks like Botched has the following formula: 2 operations the doctors choose to do and 1 they reject for various reasons. And the bromance between Doctors Terry and Paul is great. These two have a natural, easy chemistry. For those who are fans of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, also, did you notice a pattern? Terry makes fun of Paul because it's fun to make fun of Paul, and we saw Adrienne Maloof do it over and over and over again back on Bravo. What's the difference? Well, Terry's not married to Paul, and he's not being vicious about it. When Adrienne would attack Paul, we would see Paul wince. When Terry does it, he smirks and laughs. Such a subtle difference is huge on television. It's good-natured and cute. So last week we had 2 stories to make us cry and 1 to make us laugh, and this week it is the other way around. Supermodel Janice Dickinson is a huge catch for the doctors because she's high profile and also because she's crazy. Janice is the type of person whom it's risky to cast on a full season series such as The Housewives, but she's great for a one-off episode that doesn't take too long to film. Add in the real-life drama of her implants being 20 years overdue for replacement, plus the potentially malignant masses floating around, and you've got medical drama as well as reality drama. Then you've got Janice's crazy behavior. Everyone knew her post-op pain management would be difficult given her recovering addict status, but nobody knew that she would also rip out her drains, take off her bandages, and burst a stitch or 2. What happened next was both good for the doctors and good for reality TV. Why? Filming Janice's erratic behavior with Terry lecturing her about everything she was doing wrong, in a way that covers his back against potential malpractice. The editors did him a favor. They showed how crazy she was being and all the things she was doing to screw up her post-op care, and that she was whining and begging for drugs. So with all that, it is a miracle that at her follow-up appointment, her breasts looked amazing. And the icing on the cake, the cherry on the sundae, was that Janice was so happy with her results that she took off all her clothes and pranced around naked. Janice Dickinson for the win. Bless her heart. And her breasts. Also this week, the heartbreaking storyline was the young father, Paul, with the messed up nose job that causes 2 to 3 migraines a week. Ow. It was a great subplot that Paul wants to fix his headaches in order to be a better father, just in time for his wife to have baby number 2. And even better, that they added in the drama of finding out that she was having a boy while he was in the recovery room. And may I just say, even all swollen up right post-op, that nose looked fantastic. Finally, I'll admit that I laughed out loud at Cheryl, the woman the doctors rejected this week. She had buyer's remorse over an eye operation, but it wasn't botched. And that's not what the doctors do. Cheryl provided comic relief with her fashion choice, her attempt to bribe the doctors to change their mind with $500. Oy. But most of all, she buys black market fillers off the internet and injects them herself. Okay, even I know that that's 100 times worse than trying to cut your own hair. People, this is one of the reasons we have reality TV, so that you can all see that people like Cheryl do exist, and you and I can feel better about ourselves, because whatever nonsense is going on in our real lives that we're doing, none of us are buying black market fillers off the internet and injecting them into our own faces, right? On that note, let's skip back an hour and keep up with the Kardashians. Season 9, episode 11. It shows some very cute footage of Kourtney and Scott and the rats they live with. No, not her mother, actual real-life rats. But the meat of the episode was Kim and Chris's disastrous trip to the Vienna Opera Ball. I remember back in February when this all played out in the media, and I wondered how it would be edited on television. Wow. Get out your notebooks, kids, because class is in session. Do you remember how everybody got mad at me for being the first one to complain about editing on The Housewives? People said, the camera doesn't lie, you can't change what happened. Well, the camera doesn't lie, but editors can and do, and producers can take things out of context. They can cherry pick bits, add in interviews with leading questions, and take that footage in any direction they want to. This Vienna ball storyline is the perfect example. And let's not forget that matriarch and momager Kris Jenner is an executive producer on this show. None of these girls are ever going to take an editing dive they can't recover from. Mama won't let that happen. Now, with that said, let's go to Vienna. 4 months ago, Kim was hired to accompany 81-year-old Austrian businessman Richard Lugner to the Vienna Opera Ball. Every year since the 90s, Lugner invites a notorious, high-profile celebrity to be his date, such as Bridget Nielsen, some of the Bond girls, Pamela Anderson, Paris Hilton, Dita Von Teese, you get the picture. They get paid from $150,000 to $500,000 for a personal appearance and autograph signing at this guy's shopping mall, Lugner City, and then they end the trip with being his date at the ball. Now, it's not a particularly popular thing this guy does. Many patrons of the ball feel he's trampling all over their society traditions with trashy tabloid celebrities who do not appreciate the culture of the event. Lugner keeps doing it anyway, probably because he has a shopping mall to promote, and between you and me, I bet he likes the attention. In fact, for 8 years, he had his own reality show about his family on German TV. Donald Trump has nothing on this guy. So, back in February, the reports were that Kim was not performing her duties, that she was ditching her appearance responsibilities in order to go off on her own with her mom and film for the Kardashians. On the episode, Kim says she didn't know about the appearance and she needed to spend time with her daughter. But a little internet research turns up that the celebrity date always does the autograph appearance, and it's part of the deal. Kim didn't fulfill it. She was also supposed to dance at the ball, and she refused. She was also supposed to show up on time to the ball, and she didn't. None of this is good in any case, but particularly not when you're being paid $500,000. Next, on this week's episode, we see 2 really horrible, awful things happen. First, a man accosts Kim wearing blackface, pretending to be her fiancé Kanye. Second, while Kim does a live interview with 2 TV hosts, one host asks the other if he's going to dance. He says he's waiting until the orchestra plays the N-word in Vienna. I can't say the N-word. I can't even spell the N-word, but you know what word I'm talking about. There's no context to these events on television. It seems like this beautiful, gorgeous ballroom is full of racist, horrible, evil people. But if you go back to the news, there's plenty of context to help us figure this out, none of which was shown on the Kardashians last night. First, the man in blackface was comedian and news anchor Chris Stephan, who is hired every year by Kim's date Richard, like his own personal Ali G or Borat. Every year, Richard has this reporter dress up as the husband or the boyfriend of his date to prank them. He's dressed up as the Italian president. He's dressed up as all sorts of people. So, Richard told Chris to dress up as Kanye, and he did. And later, Chris and his news network issued a profuse apology to Kim and her mother, saying that all he meant to do was dress up as her fiancé, not make a statement about race. Next, the TV host and his musical suggestion. Apparently, he was trying to be clever and demonstrate to Kim that he knew Kanye's work. Now, raise your hand if you knew this, because I absolutely did not know that Kanye West has a song called The N-Word in Paris. Watching this episode, you would think that Kim had no idea about the song either. The TV host was trying to be clever and riff off Kanye's work, and it didn't work at all. The TV host also made a huge apology, and both apologies were made immediately, way before this episode was edited or aired. Now, were they 2 risky ideas that could go horribly wrong? Yes. In both cases, yes. Joking in any way that could be construed as racist is about as safe as making a sex tape in church. But there's your context. And there's more. From various accounts online, it seems that the good people of Vienna would like to throw Richard Lugner and all his celebrity dates out the window and never let him back to the ball ever again, but they can't do it because he's got so much money. None of these celebrities are respected by patrons of the ball. They are all viewed as a nuisance and a sideshow. And this one came with her own camera crew. Two comedians thought they were being clever, and they both went too far. And to make matters worse, Kim did not fulfill her obligations. And given her $500,000 paycheck, that's a big problem. The whole trip, even before these two incidents, she didn't play ball, nor did she dance at the ball. Add to that a flight from hell home to Los Angeles, and the entire episode is a statement on racial tension. Now, racism is disgusting and evil, but you shouldn't use it as an excuse for not doing your job. What's so interesting to me is the context. That is where you can take hours of reality footage and make it into anything you want. Editors can make heroes or villains with the click of a mouse. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I do this show, to deconstruct it all for you. For now, I am Alex McCord for The Real Deal on thestir.com. Let me know what you thought in the comments and subscribe on YouTube. See you tomorrow.